Use trillions and trillions of dollars to reduce our taxes and pay down our national debt.
The dollar is having its worst first half of a year in decades.
People always think that the future would be a slightly modified version of the present, and it's not.
Jobs and factories will come roaring back into our country, and you see it happening already.
The unemployment rate increased a fraction to 4.3%, the highest since late 2021.
We have big wealth and opportunities gaps. So when you have big wealth and opportunities gaps, there's conflict between the left and the right. And when you get to the situation where you don't believe the system is working for you and you don't trust the system, then there are wars, there are internal conflicts.
I do not want to come off as a fear-mongerer. I just simply have conviction in my beliefs on this topic, so I feel as though I should try to do something or say something to help someone. I don't claim to know the timeline at which something like this could take place, and I also don't claim to know the extent of the severity an event like this could be. My own expectations is to anticipate a slow burn and then suddenly all at once, and to prepare for the worst. This is genuinely a how to prepare video. I have a 7-step guideline I created that I myself have been following. I arranged them in what I feel is the order of importance. I think this guideline holds true even outside the realm of a doomsday event, so even if a Great Depression doesn't happen, you'll still be better off. Firstly, I should probably do my best to explain why I feel this way, and that really should be its own separate video, but I'll do a brief summary. But the short answer is debt. When debt burdens are too high, accompanied by low interest rates, governments print money to stimulate the economy by buying financial assets. Buying financial assets benefits those who have financial assets. And printing money will cause inflation if income growth doesn't grow faster than debt grows, which it has not. Since this positively affects those with assets and negatively affects those without them, it creates wealth gaps, which then creates value gaps, which creates rising tension, which widens and gets worse and worse until there's some form of revolution. America has had the fortunate advantage of being the world reserve currency, which is why we've been able to do this for so long while our economic output continues to drop. I believe the advantage of a reserve currency has a high likelihood to be challenged as it becomes increasingly more apparent we do not intend to repay debts. You can see this in a slowdown of our bonds being purchased by investors and governments alike, accompanied by the rise of gold. Gold rising is a significant indicator as it shows uncertainty in the reserve currency, and it's generally viewed as a safe haven. And with how fast it has risen, one can only assume it's institutional and central banks that are buying. Now that's a super shortened version of the economics on the matter, but the idea of this video is for the preparation. So for the remainder of the video, I'm going to focus on that. That's right, it's not flashy. It's not fun, but it is real. You gotta create a budget. Now is the time to tighten up, see where you're overspending, see what you can stop spending on, so you can utilize that extra money. You should create a spreadsheet of your income and expenses for the month. I have a templated one that I use that I expanded upon. I'll see if I can link it in the description for you to download. This is what it looks like. This isn't the exact one I used. I changed it a little bit for the sake of the video. But I'll try to plug this in the description. What's more important than utilizing all the income stats and whatnot is keeping track of what you spend. You can just go through all of your spending and plug them in each category. You can change the categories around, of course. And then what helped me a lot was being able to add links, this column for links here. So I'm not going to plug my real brokerage, but then you have your link right there. It'll take you right to your broker. If you pay your rent online, you can link it right here. Your car payment, your car insurance, just put all the links in. They made it super easy for me. And then on the other side is the due date. I love having the due dates in here because I can't always remember that my water bill is due quarterly. And then I have it right next to that, January, April, July, October. Very helpful for me. I'll try to plug this in the description. It sounds crazy, but by doing this, I found out I was paying for 2 home insurances because my lender claimed that I never sent proof of my insurance, so they went ahead and bought me a second one. It also helped me realize I didn't need subscriptions that I had. Cutting back on those really helped me save some extra money to allocate elsewhere, which we'll get into later in the video. Step 2 is your health. I think it can be really easy to roll over and be apathetic in times like these because we generally want a future we can look forward to. Especially if you have the conviction that I do on this matter, you would know it's very easy to get upset and depressed. And cognitive decision making has always been important, but now it's even more so important that we make the best decisions that we can. So I think generally eating healthier, working out, drinking more water, staying active, and keeping the mind strong is imperative. So read a book and go on a walk. Now, step 3 really bounces off step 2 a bit. Utilize your benefits. Stop procrastinating today. Book your eye doctor appointment. Get that lump looked at, get your teeth cleaned, and get that tooth pulled, etc., etc. You get the point. Worst case scenario, at least you got it accomplished. Now, I can understand money may be the issue if you don't have benefits. Again, if you have the conviction that I do, money won't even matter. But let's say you don't have that conviction. Then tackle one of your most burdensome health issues. Maybe you need new glasses. I would handle that because in a collapsing society, I'm not sure how likely it will be to get treatment for anything. The first 3 steps were relative outside the realm of a depressionary event. Now we'll get into the more directly influenced steps. Step 4. Job and skill diversification. Now is not the time to quit your job. The job market is not good right now. More people are out of work than there are jobs available. So even if you hate your job, you gotta bite your tongue, keep your head down, and handle your shit. I would only move jobs if your dad is the boss and you're a shoo-in for the position. But also I would consider the industry. As spending slows, the first thing people will cut from their budget is discretionary spending. Next, I think it's very important to diversify your skills. You have to make yourself more valuable in the marketplace. So learn another facet of your job or industry. So if you're an electrician, learn some plumbing too. If you're an event planner, learn photography. I would learn skills outside of the marketplace as well, just to benefit yourself and maybe for like barter system. Learn how to fix things, learn how to grow food, learn how to knit or sew. Not necessarily all these things, but something to provide value outside your job and within it. It is my belief that the future of America will have to learn how to make do with what already exists within the country. So instead of throwing old stuff away for new stuff, we'll have to figure out how to make old stuff functional. Step 5, food and supplies. I think it's wise to stockpile non-perishable foods. Canned goods, MREs, water, medicine, toiletries, hygiene products. Instead of trying to come up with the entire list myself, I just asked ChatGPT, could you help me come up with a list of supplies one should preemptively acquire in the event of a depression or fallout scenario? So I will show the list here. Again, I know money can be an issue, so just buy a couple extra cans of food and store them away in the attic or basement next time you go shopping. And just keep doing that until you have a reserves pile. And again, I don't know what the timeline would be for an event like this, so I would just rotate out food so it doesn't expire and just replace it with new cans. One thing ChatGPT doesn't say that I would personally stockpile as well is physical media. It would be a nice touch to have some DVDs, video games, and books, with an emphasis on how-to manual guides, which ChatGPT does include. Step 6. Investments and entrepreneurship. I think investments and entrepreneurship is a necessity and no longer a luxury. It's too hard to survive off of a sole income, and I think it's too risky to do so. There's no telling what the future holds, and industries can be too easily disrupted by tech and AI. So I would just like to reiterate skill diversification. I think it's correct to assume that most industries at some point are not safe from disruption. You should learn to adapt your mind to be able to spot opportunity, even if it's just on the local level. Just look around your town at what's missing. Think, what service can I provide? Most of the rest of my channel is pretty much dedicated to entrepreneurship, side hustles, and investing, so please subscribe to learn more about it as I evolve on the journey. As for investments, the first thing is, if your company does any sort of match, take the match. It's literally free money. You'll have to do your own research on what to invest in with your match, as all employers have different options. I personally went with Capital World Growth and Income Fund. I wanted exposure outside of the US, but it's still heavily weighted in the US anyway. But it's got good names in there, such as Broadcom, Taiwan Semiconductor, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, just to name a few. Now remember that budget we did earlier? Whatever savings you pulled from your budget, treat that as your new investment bill that needs to be paid monthly. If you were able to save $100 a month, your new 100 investment bill is due on the 1st. I plan on making a video dedicated to brokerages and investing for beginners. For now, I recommend setting up a Roth IRA retirement account so your account can grow tax-free. I use Charles Schwab as my broker for that. But if you want something simple and user-friendly, Robinhood is fine, and it's been getting better every day. Use my referral link in the description to get a free stock. Then you can set up automatic deposits and purchases for daily, weekly, or monthly, etc. When it comes to the investments themselves, I personally avoid companies that are based on discretionary spending. In my self-directed Roth IRA, I buy gold and silver, as well as other precious metals like palladium, as well as industrial metals like steel and copper. I have gold mining stocks. As gold rises, it becomes profitable to dig it out of the ground, so those stocks will see a rise. I'm invested in foreign and emerging markets, and I'm invested in China tech. I also have investments in crypto. I'm not the biggest crypto guy, I just think it's riskier not to invest in crypto. So I invest in the bigger names like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple. Because going back to industry disruption, I do think crypto has a chance to be disruptive, but I'm not betting the house on it. Step 7. Defense. This whole step could be controversial to some. I believe that if there was ever a time to get out of America, I truly believe it is right now. I know that that's way easier said than done. Just to be safe, you should have a passport just in case you need it. But to those of you who plan to remain in America, it's no secret that the social political gap is wider than it's ever been before. I don't think people realize that it may be at an irreconcilable point of no return. Like, no going back type hatred between parties. I don't only think civil war is possible, I think it's likely. Civil war is a common late stage end of an era revolution. If you throw economic turmoil on top of irreconcilable differences, you'll have people with truly nothing left to lose. Having said that, I think home defense is a necessity to be on this list, and that's not just for domestic threats. If we did have a civil war, there would never be a better opportunity for a foreign attack than in that moment. America has been fortunate in the fact that we haven't had a war on our soil in modern times, and I hope we never do. I want to emphasize the use of a weapon strictly for defensive purposes. The only way we pull through will be unity through community. I want to thank you if you made it to the end. Please consider subscribing. This won't be my typical content, but it felt necessary. I'll put my link resources in the description as well as books I recommend. I may also expand further upon the steps because it was hard to be thorough and concise for the video.